Breaking news, Nigerians. Olusegun Obasanjo disowned wife who apologized on his behalf. He said not being sent down, and nobody will force him to do any apology. He has the reason why he did what he did, and he has done what he did, and he cannot apologize to anybody. So anybody when say the verse, now that one concern them. And the wife, when God apologize, he don't distance himself, from her. You see, he not being sent down. The former Nigerian president, Olusegun Obasanjo, has distanced himself from Taiwo Obasanjo, who claimed to be his wife, and issued an apology on his behalf. Regarding an incident involving traditional rulers, Taiwo Obasanjo had urged traditional rulers to forgive her husband for instructing them to stand up and sit down like school children at a function in OYO State. In a statement titled OYO Kings, a plea for forgiveness, Mrs. Obasanjo extended her apology to all Yoruba sons and daughters, fathers and mothers, youth, teenagers, children, Christians, Muslims, traditional worshippers, leaders in Yoruba land, and the Council of Kings in Yoruba land, seeking permanent and eternal forgiveness and pardon. Meanwhile, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo have, given insight into why he ordered the traditional rulers in Oyo State to stand and then sit. Chief Olusegun Obasanjo is being widely criticized over the incident which occurred on Friday during the inauguration of two projects in Iseyin, Oyo State, where the former president was special guest of honor. In a short video circulated on the internet, Mr. Obasanjo is seen expressing displeasure at the seated monarchs' failure to rise and greet the state governor, Seyi Makinde, describing their behavior as a sign of disrespect for the governor and his office. Speaking in Yoruba, Mr. Obasanjo then ordered the seated traditional leaders to rise and greet the state governor, Makinde. The monarchs rose promptly and then sat as commanded. Several people has criticized Mr. Chief Obasanjo for tongue-lashing the traditional rulers and urging them to rise, describing his action as it is a creation of Yoruba culture. The Olowo of Iwo, Abdulrahid Akimbe, sternly rebuked the former president for his controversial stand-up order directed at the monarchs. Oba Akinde said, "Respect should be earned and not demanded," pointing out that traditional rulers deserve respect from those they encounter. The Olowo described kingship as a divine institution that should be treated with utmost modesty, courtesy, and respect. He expressed disappointment in the monarchs who complied with Chief Obasanjo's directive. The Olowo then demanded a formal letter of apology from the former president, urging from the former president, arguing that the Yoruba monarchs should always be treated with respect. But when contacted on the matter on Saturday, Chief Obasanjo told Premier Times he acted the way he did because the monarchs displayed utter respect for Governor Makinde. "I arrived at the event venue with the governor," the former president said, "from South Africa, where he was attending the burial of a politician who died on 9th September at 95. As we arrived, every other person at the venue rose, but they, the monarchs, remained seated. I was surprised because I considered that a breach of protocol and disrespect for the governor. It later became the turn of the governor to speak. As he rose, every other person at the venue, including me, stood up, as demanded by protocol, and in respect for the governor and his office. Again, the Obas refused to rise. They all remained seated. I then asked people around whether that was the practice in Oyo State, and I was told the Obas have always displayed disrespect for their governor. I wonder where they got that from, and then decided to speak to them about it. As far as I am concerned, there is constitution and there is culture. By our constitution, the governor is the leader of a state. Everyone must respect him, no matter his or her status or age. He deserves respect, no matter how young he is, and protocols must be observed. That was why I spoke to them the way I did. I wanted them to realize that it is not part of Yoruba culture to disrespect authorities. Respect begets respect, and they must learn to deal with their governor with respect if they want to be respected in return. I respect traditional rulers, and I even, when I was president until today, I treat them with reverence. I prostrate, bow, and kneel before them as necessary. I respect our culture, but let us also know that there is a constitution which puts a chairman as a head of a local government, a governor as head of a state, and a president as head of our country. Whatever we do must be in respect for that arrangement. I am saying there is culture and there is constitution. One must not disturb the other. So this is the reason Obasanjo asked the monarchs to, stand and sit, because according to him, they disrespected the governor and his office. So the wife coming out to plead to the monarch is saying, and not be send them, and not they beg anybody. So guys, I'm dropping it here. Kindly share your thoughts below the comment section. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel.